What's up guys, and welcome back to Sonic Labs, and in this video we'll be going through a plugin called the VU compressor by Purified Audio. So let us begin. So what exactly is the VU comp? Well, it is a combination of 4 different analog hardware units, namely the 1176 and its 3 revisions, and the 4th one is the LA3A, which is an optical compressor. And in this video we'll be going through each mode and how it exactly works and what it is based off of. Coming to the interface, as you can see, we don't have attack, release or ratio settings on the interface, and the reason being is that those settings are already set to a default value, and those values are very much suitable for compressing a variety of instruments, so that's why they are set to a default values. We simply only have our input and output knobs to control the amount of compression that we want, which is if you increase the amount of input, more the sound gets compressed, and the output knob is basically to control the gain of your output signal. Talking about the output gain, we also have a very convenient option of auto gain. So what auto gain basically does is it will match the gain of your output signal to the original input signal, and you don't have to adjust it manually. Next, we also have undo and redo to just go back and forth with our steps. Next to that, we have A and B, so you can compare 2 different presets, or you can compare 2 different settings that you dialed in. The UI size can go up to 175%, so it is very much resizable. Next to that, you also have the help tab, which will explain you each and everything about this plugin. Next, we have a filter section which consists of 2 shelf filters, high shelf and low shelf, and they are namely top and bottom, and these can be controlled to just shape your sound, boost the lows or highs. And as you can see, you can just dial in the pre and post, which means you can either use these filters before the compression takes place or after, and that gives you a significant amount of control on the tone of your sound. Bonus tip, you can use the VU comp to enhance the transients of your snares. So all you need to do is boost the top before the compression takes place, which is set the top knob to pre. Now pay close attention to the example that I'm showing here. At the bottom, we have the THD, which stands for total harmonic distortion, and this basically emulates the saturation that we get from the original hardware units, and as you increase the amount of THD, the amount of saturation you get also increases. On the right side, we have the mix knob, and this will basically blend in the original signal with the compressed signal, so you can always experiment and do some parallel compression with this plugin. As I said earlier in this video, the VU comp is basically a combination of 4 different compressor units, and at the very bottom you can see we have 4 different compression types. We'll be going through each one of them one by one. The first type A, is based on the 1176 blue stripe revision, and it is considered to be smooth and gentle, so it is mainly used on stuff like vocals, guitars and pianos. Next, we have the type D, which is based on the 1176 blackface revision, and this one is considered to be a bit more edgier version of the 1176. It is a bit more aggressive, so it is mainly used on stuff like drums. The third mode, namely type F, is also based on the blackface revision of the 1176. The only difference is that it is based on a more recent version of the blackface. The fourth mode called 3A is based on the LA3A, which is an optical compressor. And if you want to know more about optical compressors, you can check out my previous video. It is based on a plugin called the LA by Analog Obsession. Coming to the attack, release and ratio settings on all these compressors. The first three have the settings from the 1176, which is the slowest attack time and the fastest release time. The attack time is 0.8 milliseconds and the release time is 50 milliseconds. Same goes for the 3A mode. It has the slowest attack and the fastest release from the unit, and all four of them have a ratio of 4:1. Now let us look at some examples and see how this plugin works with different instruments.
is what I need. The only way I can succeed. Gotta have my finger on the pulse through struggle city. I'm all alone. Control is what I need. The only way I can succeed. Gotta have my finger on the pulse through struggle city. I'm all alone. Control is what I need. The only way I can succeed. Gotta have my finger on the pulse through struggle city. I'm all alone. Control is what I need. The only way I can succeed. Gotta have my finger on the pulse through struggle city. I'm all alone. Control is what I